school, well, not that old school, but throwback and mask for our playlist this morning. Whew, feeling cash from yesterday. All right, so upper body all through this workout, and we really are just going to dial in the focus to the upper body. A lot of sort of alternating sides, focusing on a single side and then balancing out on the other side. Arms all the way up. Make sure you focus on warming up the upper body today. Shoulders, chest, back, arms, whole 9 yards. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just a quick shift into some butt kicks just to get the heart rate up here and get us rolling into the workout. So we are going to focus on 20-second intervals, essentially. Keep up with those butt kicks. And we're going to run through a number of exercises. We're going to go through the circuit 3 times. So really hitting those muscles, dialing in the focus, and sort of working on that fatigue. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 into the high kicks. All right, so here's what we're going to look at. Keep going with those high kicks. Each exercise, we're going to do an isometric hold first, which means we're going to get into position and hold. Second set of, there's that second interval, we'll start moving, so the dynamic part of the exercise, and then the final piece of each 60-second round is going to be an active rest. And I'll show you what that is once we get into the exercises. High kicks up, let's go. 3, 2, 1 more each side, and then switch right to knees to chest. So pull it in, big open, and drop. Just wake up the lower body here. We're going to turn our focus pretty quickly to the upper body to wake that up, seeing as that is where we are going to focus most of all of this workout. Knee in, squeeze it nice and tight. Big open, wake up the hips, wake up the glutes. Start to find some balance, tucking that tailbone, tightening that core. Let's go 1 more each side. And down, left, and down. All right, shake the legs out, nice wide stance, arms up and out to the side, and gentle pulls. So again, we are going to run through, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 exercises before we take a real break. Because our 20-second sort of break in between exercises is going to be an active core plank. So we're going to do a standing plank. And again, I'll sort of walk us through that. But as you can imagine, it's that same sort of hollow body hold that we talk about a lot when we're thinking about overhead extensions, that kind of thing, where you want to sort of tighten the core and stay super focused. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and come to the center and right into those toe touches. Looking here to sort of wake up the hamstrings, wake up the lower back. Then we're going to hit the upper body a little bit more to stretch out those muscles, prime them for the work. So make sure you're drawing that chest down towards the legs, moving your muscles through the biggest range of motion that you can find here. Starting to focus on your breathing pattern. No cardio today. We truly are focusing on strength and stamina. Let's go 1 more reach each side. And then go ahead and stand up nice and tall and bring the feet together. We're going to start with some reaches just to stretch out the arms and stretch out the torso. Plant the heels under your shoulders. You're going to reach your right arm up and over your head while your left hand reaches for your right hip. So you're going to go just over to the side, back to the center, and switch. And we're just reaching back and forth. And again, this is a good time to start paying attention to that sort of almost hollow body feeling. Nice straight back, strong core. And what you're looking for here is starting to feel the stretch, the length happening down the torso. Let's go 3. Let's go 2. And one more reach each side. Cross the body here. And go ahead and loosen everything up. One more just to get the shoulders and back and chest open. Go ahead and reach that right arm right up for the ceiling. You're going to spread your hands so your thumbs are sort of wide apart from the fingers. And you're just going to do big windmills here. Let's go 5 in one direction. And then 5 in the other direction. All the way through. Rotating the torso as you go. And then go ahead and reverse direction. Again, spreading the fingertips. The thumb moves forward with whichever hand is in front of you. 2. And 1. And again, go ahead and shake it out. So if you have a kettlebell, if you have 2 kettlebells, awesome. That's all you really need for this exercise. We're going to do a lot of, like I said, back and forth here. We're going to go isometric hold. When I say go, so for example, single arm row, we're going to get into that tension hold, right? And you're just going to hold, squeezing those muscles. When I say go, we're going to do 20 seconds of the movement itself, nice and slow. And then the final 20 seconds, our rest period, is actually going to be a standing plank. So what you're looking at is just gripping that kettlebell in front of your body, hollowing the body up, so you're tucking that tailbone nice straight back, and as if you were sort of bracing for a plank, right? And that's going to be our active rest period throughout the entire workout. So really, you're only going to get that rest period at the very end, okay? So again, if you have kettlebells, awesome. You can use that all the way through. You can also have a set of dumbbells at the side if you need to play with the weight a little bit, all right? So let's start on the right side. We're going to start with that single arm row. So gripping the handle, bend at the waist here, so you're going to hinge back, and all you're going to do is draw that elbow up and back, and you're going to hold. So squeezing that elbow up towards the ceiling. If you need to use your left hand to keep your hips from turning to the right side, you can. You want to focus on form all the way throughout this workout here. So getting a little pre-fatigue in here, and we're going to get ready for our first dynamic movement in 2 and 1. Here we go, right into the row. Still on that right side. And again, you want to focus on the muscles doing the work all the way throughout. Squeeze at the top. Keep a nice straight back. 3, 2, and 1. Up into that active, that sort of standing active plank. So brace the core. You really want to connect to those muscles, drawing all of those muscles to the inner part of the abdomen. We're going to switch sides. Left side, hold in 3, 2, and 1. So again, hinging at the hips, and you're just going to draw that kettlebell back and squeeze at the top. So keep the elbow nice and tight to the body. Again, keeping the lower back nice and straight here, getting ready for dynamic movement in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Squeezing at the top. Keep the elbow nice and tight to the body here. And then we're going to go back into that standing plank, that active rest. 3, 2, and 1. Stand up nice and straight and take that rest again. Feet under the shoulders here and brace the core. All right, next exercise, right hand. We're going to go shoulder presses. That's the movement. So we'll start with just the hold up against the chest. 3, 2, and 1. So right hand, and you're just holding, getting ready, and we'll switch up these holds a little bit, but what I want you to focus on is keeping the wrist nice and straight, and try to keep the forearm perpendicular to the floor. So point the fist right up towards the ceiling here. And we're kind of going to do an Arnold shoulder press to start with. Here we go. That dynamic movement all the way up, and then bring it all the way in. Yeah, exactly. And then all the way in towards the chest. Again, we're looking for level hips, level shoulders. Push. 3, 2, and 1. Find that active rest. Back into the plank. All right, so same idea over to the left side. And again, we're going to start in that sort of Arnold shoulder press. Nice strong wrists. Brace that core. Tuck the tailbone. Keep the lower back nice and straight. All right, go ahead and get ready. Load up that kettlebell. Here we go. Just the hold. And you want the arm just away from the body. And again, we're looking for the forearm to be pointing straight up towards the ceiling here, okay? These will change a little bit as we move through the circuits. Getting ready for dynamic movement in 2 and 1. Let's go. Arnold press up. So twisting as you move away from the body and push right up through the ceiling. Yes. Awesome. Bringing it into the chest. Press right up again. Here we go. We've got 5 seconds left. Back into that standing plank. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so for this next exercise, we're actually going to do a bicep curl. So we're going to reverse grip the handle. So just flip those hands around. We're going to hold at the 90 degrees. That's in 5 seconds here. So again, brace that core. 3, 2, and 1, and hold. You want your elbows about at your ribs, a little bit away from the body, so you are focused in on that hold. We've got 5 seconds to go. All right, go ahead and start in on that dynamic movement all the way up to the chest and all the way down. Yep, awesome. Stay it. Excellent. Keep rocking and rolling all the way up, all the way back down for 3, 2, and 1. Find that hold. All right, again, next exercise, we're going to go up into an overhead extension. Our hold, again, is going to be at that bent arm position, so with the kettlebell kind of lowered into the bottom part of the extension. So go ahead and flip the grip again, up over the head, bend at the elbows, find that 90 degrees, and that's where you're going to hold for the first isometric portion of the overhead extension. When I tell you, you're going to move right into the full tricep extension. Keep the tailbone tucked, keep the core nice and tight. All right, go ahead and move. Push, and then all the way down. So you're moving down a little bit further than you had that hold. And remember, strong wrist. Push that kettlebell right. Nice. Excellent. Keep pushing it. Yeah. All the way up. All the way back down. One more. Bring it into the body. One more hold. All right, so we've got one more exercise like that. We're going to go spin press. So what I'm going to have you do is grip the thumbs facing your body, fingertips forward, up at goblet squat, press tight. You're going to hold the kettlebell just away from the body, and I want you to press in. So elbows up and out to the side, and you're just pressing. We're getting ready for that spin press, that push. But for now, that isometric hold, starting to feel those chest muscles. Lock and load. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and press it out and draw it back in. By the time you get to that dynamic movement, you're pretty ready to move. 10 seconds to go. And then we get our actual first break. We'll actually get our active break first. In 3, 2, 1, bring it in, 20 seconds of that active rest, and then we get a true break to grab some water. Tight, tight core here, tuck that tailbone, nice straight back, shoulders are down and back, think posture, posture, posture this whole time. 3, and 1, kettlebells down. Go ahead and grab some water. Quick break here. I'm digging this throwback playlist. I don't know about you. All right, so we're looking at very few breaks here, okay? So we're going to get right back into this. This time we'll add a little bit of a different hold for each of these exercises. So, for example, this bent over row that we're coming up on, if you can, see if you can hold a little bit away from the body. So you want your elbow back at a 45-degree angle. If that feels like too much, bring it back in nice and tight to the body, okay? Here we go. All right, so again, right hand on the kettlebell. So you have 2 choices, either out at that 45 or nice tuck in tight to the body. Here we go. Find that hold. Again, if you need to use that left hand to sort of support your torso and keep the hips and shoulders from twisting. When we move into dynamic movement here, you're going to straighten the arms sort of almost across the hips and then right back into that 45-degree. 2 and 1. Here we go. Straighten and row. And again, we're looking to sort of squeeze those muscles up and back. And keep the body moving. You can feel the core doing some work here. Even the hamstrings are getting a little bit of a kick. 3 and 1. Stand up nice and tall into that active rest. And again, this isn't just rest here. We really want to sort of dial. We're going to switch sides over to the left side. Again, 45-degree angle with that elbow out to the side. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Hold. And what you're looking at here is bringing your torso nice and low, pulling that elbow up and back so you really can feel the muscles, sort of mid-back muscles, squeezing towards the spine. Maybe starting to feel them a little bit shakier, but your body's warm now, so you're feeling good about the movement. Here we go. Start the dynamic portion. Straighten and row. Yeah, excellent. And again, we can keep it nice and slow because we're getting those reps in. Down and squeeze. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up nice and tall. Here's that active rest. If you start to feel like you need that actual rest here, you can put that kettlebell down, not a problem. All right, we're into shoulder presses, right side. This time, our hold is going to be at that 90 degrees if you can keep it there. If not, I want you in at the Arnold hold. Here we go. Load it up and hold. Again, we're looking for that nice, straight forearm, nice, strong wrist, and 90 degrees. If you feel yourself sort of giving way here in form, tuck that elbow right back in. Get ready for dynamic movement in 3, 2, and 1 push. Straight up, and you're just coming right back down to where you found that hold. Push. Yep, awesome. Great balance. All the way up and all the way down. Here, go. We're at 5 seconds left on this side. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in nice and safely. Back to active plank. Tuck your tailbone, tighten that core. Shoulders are down and back here. All we're doing is switching over to that left side. Deep breath in. Go ahead and load up. To the right side and hold. Keep the hips nice and even. Shoulders nice and even. Lower back is nice and straight, so you're not really letting go of that active core hold. Getting ready for dynamic movement here in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Press and bring it in. And again, you're looking to hit that same 90-degree angle. Yes, awesome. Excellent. Push and bring it in. Back to active rest in 3, 2, and 1. All the way into the body and find that hold. All right, few exercises to go. We're going to flip the grip for bicep curls here. And remember, that hold is at 90 degrees. So go ahead and flip the grip. Thumbs facing forward. 3, 2, and 1. Find 90. And hold. You want your elbows locked in by the rib cage, but not pressing against the body, because I want you to feel that hold on the biceps all the way throughout this isometric phase. Getting ready to do the full bicep curl in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Squeeze up, all the way down. And again, we're still looking for that hollow body, right? That nice, strong core. All those upper body muscles should be feeling pretty good right now, pretty warm. All the way through it. 3, 2, and 1. Find that active hold. All right, we've got tricep extensions and spin presses to go. So focus in on the core for another couple of seconds. Grip again and up over the head for extensions. Here we go. 90 degrees for that hold. Keep your focus on your core. You want to make sure that the rib cage doesn't flare up, so tuck that tailbone, bring the rib cage forward a little bit. Get ready for dynamic movement on this one. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go, all the way through. Press. So we're moving all the way through our hold point on this one. Just feel those triceps working hard. Yes. Stick with it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the kettlebell in nice and tight to the chest. Find that. We've got spin, press, and then a rest. Tuck the tailbone, lock it in. There are bees everywhere here. All right, here we go. We're going to flip the grip again. This time the fingertips are on the front. Squeeze that kettlebell just in front of the chest, a little bit out from the body. Squeezing hard as if you want to sort of break the handles off that kettlebell. And clap the hands together. Get ready for dynamic movement. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Push it out and bring it in. And you're still squeezing here, remember. You still want to pull those hands together all the way out to straight arm extension, and then bring it all the way back in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more active standing plank, excuse me. And then we get another break. We have one more round to go. Tight core. Keep your focus dialed in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. Nicely done. All right, make sure you keep the body moving. Grab some water. We have another round to go. And again, you have a choice this round, that active recovery time. Either hold on and do that standing plank, or you can actually take the time, put the kettlebell down, and rest it out. Just remember that if you do that, you got to pick it back up. So, one more time through. And we're going to stick right away from the body where we really are having to engage all of the muscles to stick with that hold. So we're going to start with those rows again on the right side, again at that 45-degree angle, and make sure that you're getting your torso nice and low so that as you hold, it's these muscles right here that are gripping, okay, not so much the shoulder. Here we go. Kettlebell in that right hand. Pin. Find that 45 degrees and you're going to hold. Yep, exactly. Get the torso low. This brings in the lower back as well, right? You have to stay nice and even, nice straight back as you keep that elbow nice and high. Getting ready for dynamic movement in 3, 2, and 1. Lower. So just sort of across the body and then pulling. Start with those back muscles. Dial in the focus. You should be able to feel them pretty well by now. Squeeze at the top. 3, 2, and 1. Stand up nice and tall. Again, your choice. Active standing plank. Active rest as a standing plank, I should say. Or go ahead and put that kettlebell down depending on how you're feeling. We're just shifting over to the left side. Grip that handle. Hinge back. Here we go. Elbow up. Find that 45 degrees. And again, if you feel yourself losing form, I want you to bring it in, your elbow in nice and tight to the body. Otherwise, shoulders even, hips even, elbow pulling up and back so that those muscles are engaged. Get ready for dynamic 2 and 1. Here we go. Row. Yep. Awesome. And again, this is smooth, controlled movement on the way up and the way down. Fighting gravity. Make sure you are breathing here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up nice and tall. There we go. Those are done. We're going to shift over to the shoulder press. And again, your choice here, 90 degrees, or keep it tucked in at that Arnold press position. Tuck the tailbone, core is nice and tight. Go ahead and load up. Get ready for that hold. Here we go. Find 90 degrees. Check that forearm perpendicular to the ground. Nice 90 degrees here. And again, you should really feel your core engaging here to support the hold. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. And your elbow's going to hit down at shoulder height and then press right back up through the ceiling. Yes. 10 seconds. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in nice and tight to the body and into that standing plank. Shoulders down and back. Yeah, good move. Shake the shoulders out. Get a little bit of blood flow in there. We're going to shift over to the left side. Last shoulder press segment of the morning. Here we go. Load up. Find 90 and hold. Again, strong wrist, 90-degree angle. Tailbone's tucked. Core is tight. Shoulders are down and back here. As your upper body gets tired, shoulders tend to sort of sneak up by the ears. Keep them down. Take really nice posture. Nice posture. Excuse me, all the way through. 3, 2. All the way up. And bring it in. Taking those deep breaths in and slow exhales. Matching your breathing to the movement. Keep it going. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in nice and tight to the body. All right, here we go. 3 exercises to go. That's it. Tighten the core. We're going to flip. We're going to do that bicep curl. So, grip here already. Getting ready for the movement. We're going to find 90 and hold in 3, 2. Here we go. Biceps start to fatigue here pretty early on. Fixed grip on the handles. Getting ready for that dynamic movement in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Curl, squeeze at the top and all the way down. Keeping your focus dialed into the muscles doing the work. Squeeze at the top. Come on now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. All right, 2 exercises to go. We've got our tricep extensions, we've got our spin press, and then we are done. The upper body will feel this one. Tight, tight core here. Don't give up on that. Here we go. Flip the grip. Press it up overhead. Let's find 90. Boom. Right there. Yep. Nice hold. Nice and steady here. So these aren't pulses. This is just that hold against gravity. Getting ready for the dynamic movement. Should be feeling those arms pretty well right now. 3, 2, and 1. Full extension. Pressing the kettlebell right up through the ceiling. And you want to lower as deep into the extension as you can go as well. As deep as feels comfortable to you. Elbows stay locked in place. Use the screen. Make sure those elbows are moving at the same pace. 3, 2, 1 more press, and then bring it in. Active hold. We've got spin presses to go, and then we are done with upper body. 10 seconds. All right, flip that grip. Bring that kettlebell up, elbows out to the side, and press. Pressing in here, starting to sort of feel the chest muscles. They kind of feel like armpit muscles in this movement. Ooh, that's a mosquito. Come on. Now remember, when we start dynamic on this one, I want you to keep pressing in. 3, 2, and 1. Let's do it. Press out and in. Keeping that kettlebell nice and high, away from the chest, and then directly back in. Squeezing the whole time, paying attention the whole time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One last active hold here, and then that kettlebell is done for the day. Tuck that tailbone. One last tight hold. Core is engaged. You can feel those holds in the lower back as well. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kettlebell's down. Nicely done. Crisscross those arms. Get some blood flowing. Nicely done here. Go ahead and pull that left arm across the body. Hug it in. You should feel those muscles, that pre-fatigue with the hold, into the dynamic movement. I think maybe 3 mosquito bites is the count for today. All right, keep that shoulder blade down and back. Remember, 3, 2, and 1. Left arm, or excuse me, right arm across the body. Hug it in. Nice and tight to the body here. Starting that stretch in the lat. Pull through the shoulder. Nicely done. Taking those deep breaths in. Different kind of hit on the upper body than it is on total or legs. All right, go ahead and release. Shake it out. I want you to bring the fingertips together in the front and pull away from the body. Roll that back out behind you. Go ahead and release. I want you to link the fingertips back behind you. Balance that stretch out. Pull away from the body. Open up the chest. Open up the shoulders here, squeezing back. And release. Again to the front. Fingertips in front, and you're going to pull around the back. Looking to keep things balanced and lengthened. Tuck that chin. And release. One more time, fingertips behind the back and pull away from the body. Straighten those arms out so you start to feel the stretch through the biceps as well. You can lift the hands up sort of away from the butt a little bit to stretch the biceps a little bit more. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Crisscross those arms to get a little blood flow again. Woo-hoo.